I really do feel like Montez Sweat is just one of those players that does not get the credit he deserves. I'm not sure exactly why it is. Maybe Washington in general doesn't get the attention that they deserve, the star players on that team, of which there are a good chunk. It's actually a more talented team than people realize. But he really is someone who, you could talk about as a potential elite player. He is on that level, and so let's talk about just the star caliber of play that he has. And we're gonna start off with this play going up one-on-one against a left tackle. And listen, Titans weren't exactly throwing Trent Williams out there at left tackle last year. Totally fair to say, but still. What is a good edge rusher's job when you have weak talent you're going up against? Don't just win, but dominate. And Montez Sweat dominated in this game. So right when this play begins, you see this point right here. What's going to happen is he's going to use his right arm to go underneath the left tackle's right arm. It's sort of a rip move, but it's an inside rip move, which you don't see too often. Typically, when you do this move, you do it the other way, right? A left tackle, traditionally, the important thing for a left tackle is going to be their left arm. However, Sweat kind of doing it the other way, being a bit clever here and trying to surprise the tackle he's going up against. And watch how when he gets that arm around, I mean, look at how off balance the tackle who's trying to block him is. He did it so quickly that there's really just no time to adjust. And at this point, your choices are either hold or give up a sack. And he's going to do the latter. Watch him sort of let Sweat go through. Good job by Tannehill to still find a way to get the ball away. Actually, nearly got a completion out of that. Good stuff from Tannehill, but really good stuff from Sweat to disrupt that play, and he was the reason why that play didn't work. You have to think that if Tannehill had a clean pocket, he probably does make that throw, and they're able to get a completion. So really good stuff from Sweat to make something like that happen. And so, okay, let's go over to this play. Tennessee pretty quickly realized, hey, maybe we just don't do that. Maybe we just don't leave our left tackle one-on-one against Sweat. Maybe we help him out a little bit. We're going to have our halfback chipping Sweat on this play. You see how right when it begins, this is a good job by Sweat. I think right here is when he actually notices what's happening. So because of that, listen, if you notice what's happening, you can't quite do your outside pass rush move you typically want to, right? Because the halfback is going to push you towards the middle of the tackle. You're not going to be able to get fully around. That's a big part of the benefit of the chip. It just makes it easier for the tackle to get the hand placement he wants. So Sweat is going to kind of say, okay, well, why even bother with that then? Let me just go directly towards the tackle who I'm going up against. Look. As you see, that's what he does. He's going to try to just overpower the offensive lineman he's going up against, which is hard, right? It's hard to overpower an offensive lineman. I mean, who can pull that off? Well, Montez Sweat can. Watch him. I mean, that's just... Is that a superstar level play or what? That's incredible by Montez Sweat to be able to do that. There was a chip on the play, and it didn't even come close to mattering, really. That's just a superstar level play by an incredible player. That's what that was. You also have stuff like this, which is, okay, we're going to actually have a couple tight ends. Looks like a receiver actually is going to start off blocking him, and then a tight end comes over, finishes off the block. We're going to try to get rid of the football quickly. It's not a big deal. Yes, this is a tough situation, but you know what? We can make it work. It's kind of one of those plays where it's like, yes, every team tends to do this, but you kind of can't do it when Montez Sweat is on that side of the field. It doesn't really work, because watch what happens. Right off the bat, this is working as intended. I mean, this is how this play was designed to work. Everyone's in position. No one from Tennessee is doing anything wrong right here. This isn't a complete screw up or, a bad coaching play. I guess the one thing you would consider a bad coaching play is you're not respecting Montez Sweat enough, because look at what he can do to a tight end. Watch him just completely overpower and get to Ryan Tannehill. I'm not even sure if he actually touched Ryan Tannehill, but he still got credit for the sack, so there you go. And he should have gotten credit. I mean, he was the guy who made the play. I mean, without him, that play does not happen, and it wasn't just a good play, it was a dominant play. I also think he can really come through in the run defense game. I don't think that's what he's known for. He's definitely much more known for being a great pass rusher, but he can definitely hold his own in the run defense game as well. On this play, it's actually going to be the left guard for Atlanta who's going to go out and block him. Watch how right when this play begins. First off, Sweat does a good job of kind of holding his own. It doesn't get moved out of the way and actually drives the guard who he's going up against a little bit backwards. So that's definitely a very a good job already getting himself in position so that if the ball is ran in his direction, hopefully he can reach out and make a play. That's the hope right here. He's put himself in good position to make the play. Of course, he does have to then go out and be able to make the play. And as you see, watch how he is able to reach out and really not allow much yards whatsoever on that one. Just a very good. He does a very good job of just doing his job, right? Of just, understanding where his gap is and being able to find ways to impact the play in a positive manner in the run defense game. At the end of the day, football in general, defensive line in general is already such a team sport, but especially run defense, it's such a team sport that you have to have a bunch of guys who can just do their job, and that's what he can do for sure. And one other thing I want to talk about that, it's weird. We tend to talk about these plays as luck-based plays, and there's definitely an element of luck to it. So first, let me just show what happens on this play. It's a one-on-one matchup against the Cleveland left tackle, and watch what happens. As you see, Sweat's going to kind of try to do that inside rip move once again, and it kind of works a little bit. Definitely Watson has to move around a little bit to avoid this, so I wouldn't consider it a terrible rep or anything, but this still is a win by the tackle. Now, I would kind of phrase this as one of those, even your losses look impressive type plays for Montez Sweat. Of it still was a, he didn't get the, immediate pressure on this play, but still looked pretty good not being able to do that. So, maybe impressive, but at the end of the day, not something you would, mark on the stat sheet as a win. But still, he's in this position. The ball has not been thrown, and a lot of times this is where Sweat really thrives. He's just a high motor player who finds a way to still impact the play. Because on the other side of the field, Chase Young's actually about to create a pressure right here. He didn't start off rushing the passer, dropped back, but then as the play kind of developed, went over to Watson on this play. And as you see, he's going to, wrap up Watson, but then it's Sweat who was the one who, furiously got over there and was able to make a play. While some other defensive linemen were kind of, had already stopped the rep at that point, Sweat was still going at a top speed, still giving it 100%. And I saw this consistently. I really saw this a lot from Sweat, is he's a very high motor player. And listen, I tend to not view it as kind of an ethical thing when guys sort of stop plays a little bit earlier on at the defensive line position, because you are so big. It takes so much energy that, you only get so many snaps. Wasting some of that energy on just a hustle play isn't always the right idea. But for someone like Sweat, to me, I feel like he's someone who could legitimately sprint on every single play and do this on every single play and not be tired by the end of the fourth quarter. Like, I just feel like he has that kind of energy. He's just one of those guys who can just consistently go. It's not and he gives that kind of energy too, which is cool to see and definitely a plus. So, a lot to like about Montez Sweat, I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.